So as you can see, the governments, also corporations, in many instances, are inconsistent in using different ethical point of view, which in our mind, when we are not consciously thinking about these different point of views, create inconsistency and mistrust. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Hani Muhammadi. I graduated from Harvard Kennedy School in Public Administration and currently I'm a PhD candidate in management at McGill University. Today I want to talk about inconsistency in ethical views and the impact of this inconsistency on the trust of the society and government and corporations. The two main streams of ethical views are the ontological view and utilitarianism. The ontological point of view basically is saying that individual rights are important regardless of the aggregate outcome of the system. And you basically, when you start to decide about whether something is fair or not, is based on each individual people. An example of that will be admission process at universities or hiring process. You evaluate each individual regardless of the aggregate level of the outcome. And the utilitarianism is basically when you decide, when you make decision, you look at the aggregate outcome of the system, and if the aggregate outcome is good for everybody, is better than, for example, another decision that you can make, then you will go ahead with that decision despite the fact that it may discriminate against some individuals. So, regardless of the argument that which view is right or which view is wrong and how we should use them, the consistency of using these views is very important in creating trust. For example, right now, the government of Quebec passed a law 21, which basically is about the secularism of the government. Practically means that any religious symbol is banned in basically people who are doing education, working for government and so forth. Means that nobody has a right to wear hijab or other religious symbols. So this is basically saying they are arguing that it is better for the whole society if we do that, regardless of the discrimination that is happening for individual cases. At the same time, the government is saying the government is not mandating basically vaccine for all the individuals because they are arguing that individual people have right over their own body, and it's not we cannot overrule that right by mandating vaccine, and we cannot go for the benefit of the whole society, and individual rights are important, which is the ontological point of view. So as you can see, the governments, also corporations, in many instances, are inconsistent in using different ethical point of view, which in our mind, when we are not consciously thinking about these different point of views, create inconsistency and mistrust. So remember, the lesson here is whatever ethical position that you are taking as a corporation, as manager in corporations, or as government official, try to be consistent in which approach that you are taking. It's easy to lose track because as human beings we usually go with what we feel that is important in that specific moment, but it will harm the trust between government and society and corporations and society. Thank you very much for listening.